Hi, welcome to my live card making tutorial. I'm popping in again. I do them on Tuesday evenings at 7, but I designed a card with a Forever Forest stamp set, a Back to Nature card, and wanted to share it with you. It's, oh, we've got our first person. Hi, Miss Patricia, and my audio, I'm hoping it's still good. And so if anyone could say anything about that, that would be fantastic. Okay, so, oh, I'm Shelley Godby, and for 22 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand-stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. Okay, still good. Fantastic, because we really want good audio. All right, so let me go ahead and let's go ahead and have a look at the Forever Forest bundle. Now, this is in the September through December 2023 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. And Miss Ann is checking in from East Tennessee. Well, hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. And so the stamp set and the dies will both be carrying over. When they'll be available again isn't quite clear yet. At some point, maybe right away, but maybe not till, holiday catalog time again next September. But what won't be carrying over is the bundle discount. And so this gives you through January 3rd, 2024 to order the bundle and save 10% on both in my online store, www.shopwithshelley.com. And, oh, Miss Roxanne is here. Hello. All right, and so all of you commenting, well, this is really cool. I'm going to have a drawing, and no special keyword this time, for a full package of these fine sparkle adhesive back gems. We'll do the drawing at the end of my card making tutorial. All right, and so beautiful, beautiful bundle. So, like I said, they're available now with a bundle discount. But that bundle discount is disappearing on us. So Miss Mary, oh, checking in from the Netherlands. Well, hello. I don't know that you've been with us before, well, or had commented, so glad to see you. Now I have to say about the drawing, sorry about that. Stampin' Up! Only permits us to mail products to addresses within our own country, or for the United States, it'd have to be a US address. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And we'll put this aside, but still go ahead and comment. All right. Was beautiful. Oh, what was beautiful, honey? Miss Ann is saying, wow, beautiful. Oh, the gems. Oh, yeah, they were very, very cool. So if that's what you're talking about. What I have here is some basic white cardstock. And whenever you're stamping on white cardstock, be sure to be using the Stampin' Up! Basic white cardstock, because it has a smooth, tight finish to give you a crisp, clean image. All right, so I'm doing a good bit of stamping tonight, so I'm going to put on my pair of stamping sleeves. I was tired of ruining my handmade cards, and so my mom, I told her what I needed, and we came up. She makes them. I explained what I wanted, and she makes them, and I loved them so much, she thought I should make them available to everybody, so you can. You can pick these up at www.stampingsleeves.com. Oh, Miss Hensley. All right. Now I'm blushing, and you're my favorite. And Miss Mary says this is the first live of yours that I've watched. Usually check later. Oh, okay, so you're able to jump in live. I don't know if it's because it's a Friday or just what, but I'm so glad that you did. All right, so what I have here is a Shaded Spruce Classic Stampin' Pad. We're going to pick this up, slide that in, and I have, this is a cling mount stamp, so it's our good red rubber, but unmounted, and so I have this on a block. I believe it's an E. It is. All right, and so they come unmounted, and you put them on a block and use them over and over and over. So, I have a tendency to turn it over and make sure I've got it inked really well. It's just a habit. It's probably from when we had the, we've got the firm foam pads now. You get this excellent coverage. When we had those felt pads, the coverage wasn't always there, so I got into that habit, and I still have continued to do that. Look at those evergreens. Fantastic. So that's all the stamping for right now, but where the sleeves come in, I have to really put my arms up here. Let me come back out. I'll need to anyway for the die cutting. Opening and closing the pad, I get ink on my hands, so a quick swipe. So I don't get it on my card because I was ruining so many cards. So to close it, I pull on this lip while pushing here, and then click and make sure it's closed. And that's where I can just give that quick swipe. All right, so we have that, and we're going to do mountains. Oh, Miss Marcia, hi, I love the evergreens. Well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You're really into nature. Okay, and so we'll be die cutting this. I don't need to do anything to prepare that, but I want to use this. We're going to do a combination of the intricate and the outline dies, this big one. And I thought, wow, that'd be really cool on dimensionals. But they're so intricate. There's a lot of holes in there, but I still wanted that look. So what I have here is one of the foam adhesive sheets. I cut it down to size. This is going to be, that die is going to be fully covered in dimensionals to give me that dimension. So peel off the layer, and let's do it this way. I don't know if anyone else does that. If they turn it over, it's like, wait a minute, it's the same thing. I cut this a little bit smaller because just like when I'm using the adhesive sheets, I don't want this to go over the edge and stick to my cutting plate. All right, so let me grab my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. We have everything set up. Whoops, I mean everything prepared. Oh, hope I didn't take out anyone's eardrums. I hit the table. All right, so I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Love this thing. All right, let's go out a little bit further. There we go. And so what we need to do now is build up what's called a sandwich to get to the appropriate thickness. So I start with a plate number 1. All the plates I'm showing you are included with the purchase of a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And plate number 2, because they're the thin middle dies. All of this is printed on here. You don't need to memorize it. And then we need, look at this, a brand new plate number 3. Not a mark in it. Well, for now, that won't take long. Aw, thank you. All right. I don't know, maybe my favorite is shifting. Anyway, I'm teasing. All right, so now I've got this. And how about we'll do just this, I think. And I need the die that coordinates with it right here. And we want to center this around it. All right. Looking to see. Okay, so first I'm looking at the trunks. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And so what I have is this Crafter's Companion low tack tape because I need to do something to secure this. You could use Post-it notes. You could use painter's tape. You could use, because that's supposed to be low tack, right? Washi tape. And even though this is low tack, I still go ahead and take away by putting on my finger some of the stickiness and just to help hold that in place so when we go through. Even though I have the adhesive on there, we're going to take another plate number 3 and place it on top and go through. We'll see how well this comes out. I'm not at the advantage point I normally have. All right, and so look, I got my first cut into my new plate. It's supposed to do that. I don't know about anybody else. The first time that happened, I thought, oh, I did something wrong. Yeah, I hadn't, but it sure felt like it. My pristine plate wasn't so pristine anymore. And there, oh, yeah, that turned out nice. Fantastic. Okay, and so then we have our mountain. And look at this mountain. Okay, so let's look at the detail in here. Isn't that cool? Very nice. So we'll place this on here. I don't need perfection to hold this in place. So about right there is looking very good to me. We'll let's pull this out so I can place it on there. There we go. And go ahead and crank that through again. And so what I like about this stamp set, I ended up doing a winter card, but I took the same idea, and I'll show it to you at the end, and made a spring summer card as well. I want to look at that, how that cuts that in there, the snow caps. So cool. All right, we're going to use the rest of this. So we're being frugal. And I want a couple of these rocks. All of this, of course, is coming with the Forever Forest dies. All right, so we have that on there. I've got plenty of room for that. Now, remember this, our shaded spruce cardstock with that on the back. And again, I don't need perfection because I just need to keep it on there. All right, let's come up more this way. And return with plate number 3. So, cutting with the adhesive sheets with this one so doggone intricate. The first one, I mean, it came out okay. I had to do a lot of fooling. So when I did the second one to do that spring summer card, I just backed up and did it a second time. And it felt to me like it came out easier. And that may have been as simple as it was just experience at that point, but it's not going to hurt to back up. And so then we have our stones. So let me put all of this aside. Okay. And we will work on this. And so these little poke out holes with my, take your pick tool, and let's bring this in closer so you can see. Even better. Oh, that feels really close. I don't know if that gives me enough room. Let me go out a little bit. Just a tad bit more. Okay, so there's one. Put those back on this sheet. Do you see what I'm talking about? These little holes. Oh, I'm trying to catch the light just right. And so that helps that to come out real nicely. So we've got our 2 stones. And now this. So we'll peel that off. That came off easily enough. And then I just went ahead and tore. So I need all this to come out for me. So that backing it up and going through a second time, that came off of here really easily. But what's going to take a little bit of time is right here, poking out all of these little ones, but so worth it because that adds to the detail. The take your pick tool really helps to make that easier. So it's sticking to the adhesive sheet, so I just go ahead and peel them off myself once I poke them through. Thought about having this all done, but I thought, we'll just chat. It's a Friday evening. Things should be calming down, although I was talking to a friend from church today. They're having their family Christmas on Monday. So all that isn't put aside yet, but that just extends the fun. Okay. Oh, look, that poked out really well. I didn't mean to go that, but hey, I like that. That means they're not sticking to the back. Cool. Learning as I go along here. Because I've used these before, but I don't know that on anything ever so intricate. But the difference for the look, I can't wait for you to see it. Okay. We are almost done with these. Oh, there we go. I don't think I'd poke that one out yet. I got ahead of myself. Okay, I just looked up and Miss Susan from Dresden, Ontario. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're joining us this evening. Okay, we almost have these. Almost. Okay. And I want to get them off the back because I want it to stick really well to my card. I'm thinking if anything is extra on there, it's not going to. We are done. Can you see? Oh, let me get this out of the way. Can you see all that cool detail? Very nice. So we'll set that aside, maybe not the sticky side down. And clean up my mess. And we get to do, I'm on an embossing tear, I swear. But I decided I wanted, excuse me, snow-capped mountains. And so to do that, we're going to add some white emboss. All right. Okay, so does, Miss Marcia's asking, does that only come in white or is there black too? Not with the foam adhesive sheets. They're the size of the Stampin' Dimensionals, and I just cut them down to size. And I had just, on some of them, some little slivers left over, but I was thinking today, that'll be great. When I ran out of the standard Stampin' Dimensionals, I could have just been cutting up my adhesive sheets, my foam adhesive sheets. That would have been really cool. Okay, so we have, here we go, our mountain. And I don't care if embossing powder sticks other than exactly where I put it, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. But what I have here is the Embossing Additions Toolkit. And so you get this nice tray to funnel the embossing powder back in and the brush to brush it back in. One of the most important things in here is the embossing buddy. We won't use it on this, but we will on another piece. And this was completely new. Love it. So, tweezers. And so they're metal, so they're nice and strong, but the tip is plastic. So to hang on to it, the heat doesn't come up and get me. Very important. So what I have here is the Versamark pad. It is a pigment ink and stays wet for a very good time. Okay, Miss Roxanne, we had you had your Christmas on Christmas Eve. Yeah, we did too for the first time. We had never done that before, and it worked out really well for us because my little brother's birthday actually is on Christmas Day. So the first time in his 52 years, I can't believe the baby is 50. Well, wait a minute. I'm not that old, so I must be the baby. First time in his 52 years on Earth that his birthday was on his birthday. All right, and so we'll be using that again in a minute. So I have the white embossing. Miss Brianna, hello. Well, hi. Thank you for joining us. All right, I'm sprinkling this on. And so it'll stick to where I just spread that embossing powder on it. All right, so why don't we put that aside for a second, and let's go ahead, and here is some more basic white cardstock. Now this time, let's run the embossing buddy on it. We have this fabulous stamp with a moon and the stars. I thought, ooh, that'll be really pretty behind my mountains, or in the sky of my mountains. So back with the Versamark. Got that inked up. And, you know, I've shared before, but I'll do it again because we've got people who are new. Our Stampin' Up! Classic pads, they store themselves upside down. The ink, it then stores itself upside down, and what's so good about that, it keeps all that ink to the top. Well, you know, this doesn't. So as soon as I'm done, I turn it over and store it upside down to keep that ink to the top on that too. All right, so let's come over here. Oh, yes, Miss Marcia, yes, you do want that. Better than the clothespin. All right, and so I think this looks pretty good right about here. And this isn't going to be so terribly dramatic, but it's fun. I'll show you in a bit. So I've got the white powder on white cardstock, and you can see the image. All right, so let's set all this aside. And later on, I will go ahead and funnel that right back in using my brush in the funnel into the envelope. And so now our heat tool, just a remarkable tool. It has two settings, one for drawing, one for embossing. What I really love about it, besides the high quality of how good of a job it does, is this plastic on the end covering up this tip that gets really hot, because the intense the heat from an embossing tool, very intense. People ask if you can use a hair dryer. It's just not as hot. You would not want to use this on your hair, absolutely not. And so that keeps it cool if I accidentally touch it, or anything plugged in for me has a tendency to hit the floor. I'm not going to burn anything on the floor, but more importantly me. So that first setting I was telling you is for drying. We want more intense heat than that, so we're going to bump it up to that second setting. And so now I just hold it on there until I see it melted. And we've got Miss, okay, oh, I wish I could hear your voice, because it looks like Jeanette, but Jeanette, but there's no N, so it's Giette. That's pretty. But thank you for joining us. All right, so I'm looking to see, all right, I see this little one right here melted, because it's heated up the cardstock. Now it'll go quickly. This is not the dramatic part. The dramatic part is coming. All right, that's melted. So now let's bring over, you know what, let's turn this off for a second. I do want to use, because my fingers are going to get way too close on our mountains, for our snow-capped mountains. So let's go ahead, oh yeah, and we'll go ahead and, now this will definitely be more dramatic. It's already pretty cool already, isn't it, with the snow-capped mountain? But when it just goes from powdery to melted, it'll get more vibrant, that white. Miss Ann, I've never used the foam pads to run intricate eyes through. Thanks for the inspiration. Oh, yes. Yes, they're designed for that. Look at this go. Oh my goodness, from the powdery to melted. So much more opaque. I've got my, it's nice, I don't have to hold that up in the air. What's underneath me is a silicone mat. And I picked that up on Amazon, and I can put a link to it under the video. I really like it. Adhesive doesn't stick, and then I don't need to worry about this. And there we go. And so before I put away my heat tool, I look and hold this in the light to see if I see anything powdery, and if I do, I go back. And it looks really, really good. Okay. So how are we doing? Do I need to step? I think we're okay. Didn't know if I need to step back a little bit or not. So I want some scrap paper that I had here. Oh, right here. Because I'm going to use the blending brush with the misty moonlight. I thought sky, moon. Okay, that works. And so let's go ahead, pick this up, push that in, and let's do a quick swipe in case I got ink on me, and that happens a lot. So I'll look and go, holy smokes. So I've got a blending brush here, and what we're going to do is called what's loading the brush. All right, I just need to come out. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, but also need, for you to be able to see more of the screen. So we're going to, what we call is load up the brush. If you're painting, you'd roll, roll, roll. Well, we're loading this up with ink. Now, what I find best for me is to start off the edge, because if I start at the edge, I tend to get real glumpy. So start off the edge, and we'll come in. And let's come over here. And this technique is called emboss resist. Whatever's embossed will resist the ink. And so you're starting to see the moon and the stars come out. And I'm doing a circular motion on one of the cards I'm going to show you. Oh, well, maybe it was the other. I had quite the swirl, but I thought, well, that just looked like, wind. It was really cool. Okay, so we're going to, and let's go ahead and let's do some more at the top. The sky seems to be darker as it gets further away, so we'll just add some more. So you can get the depth that you want. You can do a little bit or a whole lot, and these blending brushes just give a beautiful blended look. Now, I'm not going to on this card, but if I wanted to, I could add in yet another color, and the colors would blend with this nice brush. But I do want to be deeper at the top. So I'm going to add some more. But look, the deeper my color gets, look how that moon and stars pop out. All right, let's fade it down here some. All right, looking oh so good. Love this technique. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. Pull in that lip, pull, click, and then a quick swipe, because yes, at this point we sure don't want to ruin anything. Now here's an important step with the Emboss Resist. The ink can sit on top of the embossing, so you just take a napkin, a tissue, and look, because it's not going to dry on there, so it comes up real easily. Very little came off of here, and now it is just, wow, popping out and looks so stinking cool. All right, we are just humming along. So now we have our mountains. Fabulous. So let's grab some Stampin' Seal. All right, and so remember, for anybody watching that's just joining us, I'm having a drawing at the end of the video for these fine sparkle adhesive back gems, a full package. And how you get into my drawing is by adding a comment. I think you get multiple entries if you tell me how great I look tonight in my pink and gray shirt. I'm lying, but because we've got software that's taking care of all of that. So our snow-capped mountains look so good. Oh, ring summer card. And so then our trees that we stamped and die cut, back with our Stampin' Seal. See where it's opaque? I put my finger there, and I'm going to cover a good bit of it. I'm going to go off the edge just, a little bit, because this will get layered onto another piece. And if you follow me, you know I like that. All right, let's come down a little bit to show off more of our mountains. Looking oh so good. All right, and then look. Oh, well, let's see who's joining us. Miss Beverly from, Dallas, Texas. Miss Marcia, but I do look good. Thank you. I am going off the edge when I was designing it a little bit too much, but look at that depth. And so what I like about this with the large tree, standing out even more physically, we have the illusion of depth with the smaller trees and the mountain in the background because this is up front. Okay, Miss, okay, I will do that. Miss Ann was saying I may want to share about the stamping sleeves again. You know what, I will do that when we stamp the greeting. Thank you. All right, so we've got this, and we're about to stamp our greeting. And I still have our rocks, if you remember those, and they also have in them, I didn't add any snow to them because we're down here in the snow. I'm thinking they're sticking out. And so some more of this, the Stampin' Seal. And, I didn't want Stampin' Seal for that one. For this one, my mini glue dots, here they are. All right, so, because I was thinking, it's behind, the tree is behind. So we'll put one on this side, these Stampin' Dimensionals. So this is the size that those foam adhesive sheets come. Oh, Miss Sheila, hello from Virginia. And Miss Carla, hello. She just lives down the road from me. All right. Those foam adhesive sheets, that's what these, they're these just in one solid sheet where, we've got the standard dimensionals and then these mini. Look how great these minis came in handy again. Been using a lot of these lately, and not just because I ran out. All right, so I'm going to take my thumbnail and press down, and that makes that edge pop up. And even if you don't have fingernails that are longer like mine right now, that tip still works. And I'm okay to go over that edge a little bit, but that looks really cool, doesn't it? So it's behind a rock. And then another one. we've got all those mountains. We'll come over here. May need to move that, so let's not press down yet. And then my greeting I did in crumb cake. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and pick this up, slide that in, and my stamping sleeves. Whenever I open and close pads, I tend to get ink on myself, just like I did here. So a quick swipe on these so I don't transfer that ink onto my card, because I have done that as it was going into the envelope. Miss Susan, oh, love how you did the sky. Well, thank you. You know what? I put my stamp set up. This greeting, it's one of them from the mini catalog, and I don't know, that wasn't too bright of me. I forgot all about that. It is not part of the Forever Forest. I'll get that name and add it underneath later. Sorry about that. But it is carrying over, but again, when it'll be available, I'm not sure. But it says, hope you're feeling better soon. All right, so let's come over here. I left myself room for a greeting, and I like that in the crumb cake. So we're going to close that. We're going to push, pull on that lip, click, and we're done stamping. And so a final swipe on my stamping sleeves, and you can pick those up. My mom and I told my mom what I wanted. She made them, and we decided to make them available to anyone who wanted them. And it's at www.stampingsleeves.com. And so I'm going to put this on Misty Moonlight card base, back with my Stampin' Seal. And hopefully I didn't go too far over. I don't think I did for my tree, because it'll still fit in the envelope. We'll center this on here. All right. Now we can press that down because I'm happy with that placement. And I want to move that up a little bit. When I turned it over, I could see, and there we go. So we've got our Back to Nature card that with the Forever Forest bundle. And I promised to show you one. Okay, so the same card idea, but for this one, I didn't do snow-capped mountains. And down here, I just added soft sea foam with a blending brush. And so, you know, that same idea, and did emboss that sky too. Just no embossing on the mountain, and filled that in. And so that didn't take much longer at all. And Miss Brianna can't wait for the new catalog, ordering to take effect. Yes, January 4th. And but until January 4th, we're still ordering from the September through December 2023 mini catalog, and of course, online exclusives and from the annual catalog. But what's timely is we've got a lot of products that are retiring and won't be back again. And so you'll want to grab those before they're gone for good. And then we've got the Forever Forest bundle right here that will be available again at some time, but not the discount. So I wanted to show you something with this, and so you can grab, because the savings are just awesome. You know, I love to save money. And so that bundle discount does make quite a difference. And so there we go with that Forever Forest. Oh, Miss Ann, how great they both look. Thank you. And Miss Susan says, so pretty. You know, or very pretty. Thank you. I just lost my train of thought again. I'm okay, really I am. And so, oh, yeah, and so easy to do. I mean, yeah, very easy to do to make that card. And with that second crank through, it was easy to get that very intricate tree. I mean, my goodness, look at the intricacy on this. I mean, all of that is space in between. We got that out very easily. All right, and so we've got, well, thank you. I'm so glad you all joined me. What a way for me to spend a Friday evening. And Miss Mary. All right, so you know what we need to do. So the Forever Forest, available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com, through January 3rd only, if you want to get that bundle discount, and of course you do. All right, so let's do this. We'll come back, hang for a second, see if there are any questions, give people a moment longer because we're going to do our drawing for the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Back Gems. So let's go over and see how well this works. Are we ready? Oh, Miss Roxanne, love it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's draw. We had 11 of you all join, and oh, Miss Susan. All right. Oh, that is so exciting. Oh, I didn't have it up on the screen. Okay, there we go. Sorry, you didn't get to see them all go through. I forgot to add that part. That's okay, though. But you see the winner. I watched it, and I was quite fascinated. Miss Brianna loved this. So, Miss Susan, please send an email to Shelly at wrong one. Shelly at stampingsmiles.com. SHELLY at stampingsmiles.com. And I'll also go put it on Facebook so you can, with my email address there, if that makes it easier for you. So email me I've got include your full name, even though I could see it, and your email address, and I will have in the mail to you the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Back Gems if it's to a U.S. address. So I'm so glad you joined me. Oh, the congratulations for Susan. You all are so sweet. What a blessing you are. And, and it's the end of a year, and you look back over the year, and I like to just count up all my blessings for the year, and you all are certainly part of that. I just love my job. 22 years, almost 23, and going strong. So I want to thank you for joining me this evening. I'm not seeing any questions. You're always welcome to ask me questions. And of course, your comments are welcome. So I'm going to wish you a good night and say thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me with ranking for YouTube and Facebook to say, hey, people want to see her stuff. So if you would do that, I'd sure appreciate it. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.